say how wonderful it is that you're all taking part. Thank you, all of you, all you artists and budding artists and professionals and everybody who is exhibiting. It's just all enjoy seeing everybody else's work if you go around the streets. I certainly will. And cheers.
I think it really does bring people together, and of course it's encouraged people to join the art class. We now have more art classes there, as well as having the photography class, which is going really well.
It's very therapeutic, it's creative. I really enjoy doing it.
Did a lot of going around reminding people beforehand that what was going to happen when. I think it had a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, well, we had 58 people this year.
When I started making art, and a few of the pieces that I did were of buildings in West Hampstead, I decided that I would post them on Nextdoor. I did one of the Wet Fish Cafe. It was the first restaurant that I went for a meal out at after lockdown. Somebody commented underneath that picture saying, you should email this email address. They're doing the art trail and you should ask them for information. And I don't know who that person was, but thank you.
And we had 17 commercial outlets, plus the fire station, plus the library and the community centre itself. So that made a big difference this year, because I think some of the displays we had in some of those outlets were really good.
And the fact that we were able to get more shops involved meant that we could show more work from some of the students of the community centre who don't necessarily have a window very locally. Overall, we're very pleased.
Most of the shops that we had the previous time had the same person back this time, and we're happy to have it.
The first year to the second year was so different. The first year we only had 2 posters, but this time around she had an array of paintings.
Yeah, that came out very nicely. That was just because I had COVID when I was supposed to be putting it together, so I couldn't get into my studio, so I just cut up my sketchbooks.
So it was very, very interesting for people to see the windows, as well as for us to generate a certain amount of visual traffic.
And you got really nice light in the mornings.
It's nice, you know, I like them being between the books, and I love bookshops. So it's really nice having work in there, and they're just very, very lovely and accommodating, you know, in the shop. And there's this nice big spaces to place things in, so I thought it would be a good idea to put sculptures in there. Then they arranged the books around it so that it went together.
And we got some new outlets who were enthusiastic. We had the art school along Mill Lane. The 2 people who run that were showing their own work in there. And the educational place up near Tesco's was an excellent display of Ian Long, who used to organise the film nights at the community centre, and his work there I thought looked really good.
We're also very pleased to have the fire station. They were very keen, and they like to do things in the community. Nautilus, I mean, you know, that was another new and interesting location.
It was the manager from the community centre, of course, who had her work there.
Oh, that's right.
It's a great location. It's in between the overground and the underground station. There's loads of people walking past. And I just thought this is brilliant. There'll be so many people seeing my art that had never seen it before. I found it really quite exciting, actually.
But the estate agents that cooperated with us, they had pictures there that related to their own business in a way. 2 of them did. And a third one put up a really good display with, we had 3 artists in there.
Yes, portraits and
Yeah.
interesting bubbles.
On the other hand, you know, still having 31 front windows was what it's all really about.
But I thought it'd be fun to do, and I thought, you know, it gives the area something to do, something to talk about. Apparently a lot of primary school teachers followed the trail. Their teacher took them to look for artwork on the trail.
That one's the community
Yes,
centre road.
but there's one on the front
and the one
as
on
well.
the front is
Yes.
Pandora Road.
So
Her photography was brilliant.
It's quite interesting to give people something to do when they're going for their walks. I mean, it was much more so in lockdown, I think.
We wanted to build on what we'd achieved last year and see if we could keep it going beyond the time of COVID, because the thing grew out of COVID in a way when people couldn't go around and see much. So we were pleased that we were able to get more people participating this year.
They'd enjoyed it as something that contributed to the community spirit. See all the art across the community and to show what talent and interesting range of art there is.
I enjoyed going around, it keeps the community kind of like talking and looking forward to something.
You start looking at the houses more, I think, when you're looking at painting, especially if they're upstairs. And it's also, it's a community thing, isn't it? It's a way of being part of the community. I've lived here 50 years, so I do feel part of the community.